Hello, hello. Welcome to this chaotic reading tag. I saw Noelle do this tag a while ago. I'm going to link her video down below, as well as the original tag, which was created by Ariel Bissett. Yeah, it's just like some fun little chit chat about chaotic reading habits. Like, should be fun. Let's get right into it. First question, do you have a certain place in your home that you read? No. I mostly read in my bed or on the couch, but sometimes I read at the table, sometimes I read at my desk, sometimes I read on the floor. If I'm lucky, I am reading outside sometimes. I would really like to have a designated, like, cozy reading chair. I will find a picture of the one that I'm picturing right now, but you know, we're in a little apartment here. We don't have that much space, and we don't have like a nook for it to go in. It just, the way that we've organized our furniture and our lives in this space, there's not room at this time for a reading chair, and you know, I'm fine and happy to read all over the house. Bookmark or random piece of paper? This is tough. At heart, I'm a random piece of paper kind of gal. I don't read that many hard copy books. I have been this month, but generally I mostly read ebooks, so that's not an issue. But in my past, I am a random piece of paper gal. Now though, because I do have a book of the month subscription, those always come with a bookmark, and so I have been using those. And I also have like a pile of just like tickets from different events, like on the table next to my bed, so I use those usually. So it's not a random piece of paper. I have like a stack of specific little papers that I don't want to throw out for whatever reason, so I just put them in books. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? No, I just stop. On my Kindle sometimes, like while I'm reading, I will in fact, like instead of turning the page, I will unconsciously, instead of like doing the page turn motion with my hand, I will do the turn it off motion. And so I think I'm about to turn the page, and instead my Kindle just goes black. And I'm like, I guess we're going to sleep now. I'm too tired to even turn the page. But generally I try to stop just at the end of a paragraph. It's really all I can ask for. Do you eat or drink while reading? Sometimes. I don't like to, because it's hard for me to split my attention between eating and reading. But drinking, certainly. You know, it's important to stay hydrated no matter how sedentary your activity is. Like it's not that easy for me to read while I'm eating, just because I'm like, do I look at the food or the book? But I definitely do it. I read with breakfast or lunch a lot. Okay, multitasking. Music or TV while reading? And no. Absolutely not. I actually don't mind if the TV is on, as long as I'm not like really like in front of it. Like if the TV's on, I'm at the kitchen table, like I could still even see the TV, but I can read. That's fine. It's not my preference, but it's fine. And the idea of listening to the audiobook of the book that I'm reading while I'm reading it, that also is a big no for me. That sounds like very confusing. Yeah, not multitasking in that way. Even instrumental music, I mean, I'm not against it, but I feel like I'm gonna read no matter what, and I don't ever feel the need to like set the mood, set the tone for myself. Like I don't have any sort of ritual or like getting ready for reading, which I'm not against, but I'll just, sit down on the floor wherever I am and open my book, and it'll be fine. Okay, one book at a time or several books at once? Here's the thing. Several books at once. At the beginning of 2021, I was like, only read 2 books at a time. and then the audiobook is separate. We're not counting the audiobook with this. So I have my audiobook, and then I have 2 books that I'm reading, generally a fiction and nonfiction, but that lasted like 2 months. And now I'm usually reading like 3 or 4 at a time. And I set myself that like sort of guideline because at the end of 2020, I felt like I had started like so many books, and then I was scrambling to like finish them and even remember like who I was or what was going on. So I was like, you need to slow down. But really in my whole life, I've never been a 1 book at a time person. I've always had a lot of books because you have different moods, you have different, energy levels, and I like to read a lot of different things. There's very few books that I'm like gonna exclude. I mean, not few books, there's tons of books I'd exclude, but genre-wise, I read almost all genres, I would say, happily. So those kind of have different moods, and I don't know, what I mean is just that I read many genres, and often I will have 1 book from a few different genres going at one time, so that I can read happily and easily and effortlessly in many different moods, because the mood, like I don't always want to curl up and read like a hard-hitting contemporary, like dramatic, soul-crushing book. Like sometimes I want to read like just a thriller, like a quick little thrill, So yeah, I have to have lots of things going so that I'm always prepared. I could read at any moment, like I said. Okay, next question. Reading at home or everywhere? Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. There's nothing wrong with just reading at home. This is I'm really outing myself in how chaotic my reading habits truly are. There are no rules. So yeah, I love to read outside of the home. I used to love reading at coffee shops, and I hope to love doing that again soon. And reading at the beach is nice sometimes, and reading outside in general is lovely. Yeah, just like lounging in the sun with a book is so nice. But yeah, also just like sitting in a coffee shop, you have like a scone, you have a little cappuccino, you have your book, maybe you do some journaling after. So nice. Reading out loud or silently in your head? I think that Kayla from Books and Lala just talked about this phenomenon, and what the name of it is, I don't remember, but it's like I'm looking at the words and my brain is saying them. So even if my mouth is closed, I'm reading aloud to myself in my head. And some people, I've seen talk of like how to stop doing that so that you can read faster. But I find that when I stop doing that, my reading comprehension is lower and I end up like maybe rereading more. So I'm not interested in stopping doing that, because it kind of like helps me immerse more in the story, because I'm not just like saying the words, I'm like really like I'm emoting, I'm really acting it out for myself in my brain while I'm reading, and that's really fun. But I do sometimes, especially if I'm tired or really into it, I will start mouthing the words, and then I will eventually start like whispering them to myself. So I try to keep a handle on that when I'm not in my house or something, but yeah, I wish I could remember the name of that thing, but maybe someone can tell me in the comments. Okay, do you read ahead or skip pages? Yes and no. I do read ahead sometimes, especially if it's like really intense dialogue, and then like there's a break in the dialogue to have some non-dialogue words or something else is happening, and then it goes back to the dialogue. I'll skip that and read the dialogue because I'm performing it in my brain, remember? So I don't want to halt that performance, because it's like, if it weren't a book, if it were really happening, and you know, you're having this intense conversation with your friend while you're, you know, walking down the street, if it were happening, like, you might see that, but the conversation would not have a break in it. That, I don't know if that was helpful. But I don't skip pages unless it's House of Leaves and I'm reading the Johnny Truant parts. In that case, I am gonna skip pages. But yeah, if I'm like having that bad of a time, then I'm just gonna skip a page. Why am I reading it? Next, breaking the spine or keeping it like new. I don't know how you people who keep it like new do that. I don't know how you do it. I think this is specifically only applies to paperbacks, but like, if I got a paperback, kind of the first thing I'm gonna do is like crack the spine so that I can open the book and read it. Yeah, I am not precious about books, and I can still love them deeply and want to keep them forever, and also bend them in half. I don't know how you can have a paperback book and read it and not crack the spine. How do you're like barely able, you can't even, I need to open it. I need to open the book. Okay, and the last question. Do you write in your books? Yes, I do. I don't write in all of them. Just the good ones, frankly. Mostly the books that I write in are books that I mean, what I write in them is usually underlining or like putting a star or like an exclamation mark next to a passage that moved me. I know people tab to annotate their books. I don't do that. I just write in it. And I really like when someone lends me a book that they've written in. That makes it like really so much more fun to read. And yeah. So, and then if I lend somebody a book that I've written in, I want them to write in it too, so that we can connect about it. Such a treasure. Okay, so that is the tag. I hope that I didn't hurt anyone out there. If I did, I apologize. There are some controversial topics covered in this, which I think is fun. So if you've done this tag, or, you know, let me know, because I'll watch it. And if you just want to like tell me that you also write in your books, I love to hear that. I love to be reassured. I don't know, I just like knowing these little things about people. So it really fleshes out the face on the screen, you know what I mean? So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.